So today we're talking about Lemonade. This company has had some up and downs, or at least their stock has had some up and downs in the past several months. Over the past 3 months alone, the stock has risen 300%, while falling 25% over the past week. In this video, we analyze the reasons for the pullback and discuss what might happen moving forward. And as a personal shareholder of Lemonade, I'll discuss my thoughts and what I'm doing with my shares. So for those that don't know, Lemonade is actually an insurance company. And they sell homeowners insurance, they sell renters insurance, and even pet insurance. And they're geared towards advertising mostly to millennials. They claim that their advantage comes from algorithms that they have to help determine a customer's risk using like their social security history and some answers to questions that they ask while they're applying. And based on this score, the customers that they deem less risky, they're likely to hold those policies in-house while reinsuring some of the riskier policies. Lemonade is also vocal about how they're there for a good cause and how they use unclaimed money and donate to charities and good causes. In a recent interview, CEO Daniel Schreiber, he said that insurance is the most disruptable industry on the planet. And they claim that there's going to be a changing of the guard for more digital companies and that Lemonade is in prime position to be a major disruptor in the insurance industry. So entering this new year, the stock was super hot, but now over the past week, it's cooled off quite a bit. And we'll discuss the reasons why we've seen this pullback after you give this video a like. The first reason why we've seen this drop off is because of share dilution. Lemonade announced that they're issuing 3 million shares. That's going to help raise $529 million worth of capital. Now this is major news, and as a previous shareholder of Lemonade, that means that those shares that you're holding are becoming less valuable. If you think about, let's say there's 10 available shares out there, and you own one share, you own 10% of the company, and now they're issuing 10 more shares, well now there's 20 shares out there, so now you own 5% of the company. And it doesn't necessarily make the company more valuable, there might be more cash on the balance sheet, but you're getting wiped out, or some of your value is getting wiped out. So that's share dilution, and that's part of the reason why we've seen this drop off. Now, is share dilution all that bad? Well, in the words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. When we look at what happened, that this issuing of shares is only going to increase the total shares available by 5%. So this isn't a major amount, it's significant, but not substantial. And there can be some positives, like first there'll be more cash on the balance sheet. So Lemonade can use all this extra cash to help grow their brand and grow the awareness about the company and in turn hopefully generate more revenue. It can also be a positive when you're raising the money for the right reasons, which Lemonade is. And from Lemonade's perspective, this stock has just risen up so much. Now is as good of a time as ever for the company to raise money. If they wanted to raise this amount of money, this $500+ million, when they went public, they would have had to issue 18 million shares, not 3 million shares. So as an investor, I'm looking at this as a positive thing because I trust that taking on these added shareholders and these added shares, that Lemonade is going to make it worth value of the money that they receive from this. So overall, I'm good with this. And the second reason we've seen a drop off over this past week is Lemonade has received some bad press. Zacks listed Lemonade as their bear of the day on Tuesday. And Andrew Left of Citron, oh man, he snapped off on Lemonade. I'll leave a link in the description, but he went on to say that Lemonade will meet the FTC and the SEC, and basically that they've been lying to their customers and their shareholders. He goes on to pick on their valuation, which may be fair. saying that they have higher multiples than Zoom and Tesla, while being an insurance company, stating that they have 18 times book value, while traditional insurance companies have about 1.2 times book value, and saying that according to those metrics that the Lemonade should be selling around $12 a share. And then he goes on to attack the platform, saying that Lemonade does nothing more than other traditional companies do, and that it's all hype. And then he goes further and attacks Lemonade's moral compass, saying that all this donation is really just marginal to what they're raising. And my overall take on this, he might have a few good points, but this guy, he is thirsty for short sells. Like, he's a short seller, and he's trying to create short sell hype around Lemonade. And short sellers, they've been getting burned in this market. So I don't completely dismiss some of his points, but some of this could be a cause for concern. But I'll give my thoughts later, exactly what I think of his criticisms. And the third reason we've seen this drop off, well, as Andrew Left said, I mean, maybe this stock was just overvalued. I mean, 300% growth in a few months, it's just insane. This stock has been on a rocket ship. At the height, it was trading at 100 times sales, which is just absolutely, I mean, that can turn the biggest bulls into bears in a heartbeat. So overall, I feel this pullback was necessary, and it was healthy to the long-term outlook of the stock. So now let's dive into my thoughts about this stock and where it stands. Overall, I feel if you're coming from a long-term perspective, planning to hold this stock for a few years, there's nothing here that should discourage you from continuing to hold this stock. My response now to Andrew Left and his report, here's where Andrew is missing the boat. This company has a super thin model. The other companies have brokers and so many people that you have to talk to. Like, take Progressive, for example. They have 45,000 employees. Lemonade, they have 450. This is a totally different business model, and it will help them save substantial costs compared to the other company. They're just very thin. And when he goes and attacks them, their moral compass, I find this completely wrong. Like, he criticizes them because they donated $1.1 million last year. And he says, well, they just raised $400+ million and they can only donate $1 million. Well, first of all, that was last year, and this company's grown quite a bit. They did $67 million in revenue. That's revenue, not profit. They weren't profitable. So they still donated $1 million out of $67 million, which is like 1.5%. And yeah, they weren't profitable, and they're still donating. And it's, if you were to donate money that you've just raised from investors that you want to invest in your brand to grow even bigger, I mean, that would just be stupidity if you want to donate so much money at this point in the game. So I would throw that out. I think he was wrong, and he's just trying to get hype to short sellers on this. Now, I've tried Lemonade. I've gotten quotes from them in the past, and I can say their process is very easy. I got a quote within 10 minutes, and it's super user-friendly. I think millennials love using this. The only problem was the quote was a little higher than I got quoted elsewhere, so I didn't choose them. But overall, it was competitive. And also, I'm not totally sold on all that algorithm jazz. I think other companies take a good look at potential consumers and judge their risk profile. But I will tell you what I am sold on. As I discussed, I am sold on their slender business model. This is going to give them a huge competitive advantage in the industry and will allow them to grow much quicker than other companies. But the thing that I love most, they are marketing geniuses. I feel they know exactly how to advertise and connect with millennials. They're putting ads on social media, and they've made such an automated process. You know, us millennials hate talking to someone on a phone. So their process is great. And I also really like that they're moving into the European market as well. I think that they'll do very well in Europe. So long term, I am very bullish on the outlook of this company. But I will have to admit, at the moment, this stock seems overvalued even after it's calmed down. So that lends the question, like, what should you be doing? And my advice is you should determine what your goal is with this stock. If you have a long-minded approach, like myself, I would say hold it. If you're already a shareholder, you want to hold. But if you're short-term minded, maybe the best option is to sell. I mean, this is quite still, I mean, if you bought it around like $50 or $60, it's gone up substantially, and maybe in the short term your money would be better invested somewhere else. So if you haven't yet purchased stock in Lemonade but you really want to, I would just say, are you willing to hold on to it for some time? Because right now, if you're buying around 140, 150, this stock could go back down under 100, maybe 80. So maybe you want to be careful. But if you're willing to hold on for it for 5+ years, I think it's a great buy, even where it stands today. Over the years, I expect Lemonade to grow into this rich valuation and eventually maybe compete with the big dogs. I mean, hey, right now, Lemonade's market cap is 1/7 of Progressive's. So there's still a large room for Lemonade to grow. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Lemonade. And I hope you've enjoyed, and if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. We'll make more videos like this in the future. Thank you.